When I volunteered to present this show and tell, my artist Floyd Kuptana was alive. Now he's not. He was born in 1964, 150 miles above the Arctic Circle, literally in the shadow of the Cape Perry Dew Line station, a spectral dot at the northernmost fringe of the continental Americas. Kuptana died drunk and alone, no foul play involved, on the streets of Toronto 2 weeks ago. My showpiece is a 13-inch tall found ceramic jug, a pitcher with an arched handle, spool-like spout, and air hole like no other, shown here at the fore, all painted thickly over in acrylics. I've been collecting Kuptana's paintings and collages, he's best known as a carver, since 2016. But over the last year or so, he had mostly just been treading water, recycling old ideas in rather boring ways. Then came this. Since I also collect ceramics, the intersection of clay and plastic proved irresistible. Plus, for a pot, it's an impressive size. I sent pics of it around. A museum director responded, "Bravo." An art professor in the early 80s, one of the founders of Inuit art criticism, gushed, "All that's left is to say, wow, 4 exclamation points. Where did you find this treasure?" But a dealer in Inuit art and member of a northern dynasty snarked, "I've seen gaudier. Wait, ah yes, I'm pretty sure I've seen gaudier." I think an adequate interpretation of the piece would find all three of these assessments to be correct. The piece has a formal elegance unusual for Kuptana, but it's the loudest thing of his in my ken. I don't have a full interpretation of it, just stems for one. For one thing, and maybe you can help me out with this, I haven't been able to identify the jug's specific type or origin. Maybe the Levant, Africa, any ideas? Its graphic elements offer a compilation, a retrospective of Kuptaniana. There's a panoptic eye, all-seeing eye, familiar from a number of Kuptana's best 2D pieces. In Kuptanistan, everything is ever under surveillance. Life itself is represented by a creature that looks like a dog, but from Kuptana's other work we know is every animal, including us. With Kuptana, Inukshuks are almost always presented as parodies of Inuit art in general, and this one, slouching towards Bethlehem, or at least the Haleys, certainly is that. Finally, a Latin cross. It's a tattoo lifted from Kuptana's forehead, prison scratch that he got while incarcerated in the north for cold cocking an aunt in a drunken family brawl. He uses it on his works as autobiography and signature. Through his long association with Toronto's Gallery Arcturus, Kuptana had an extensive acquaintance with art historical images. Any interpretation of the work would have to take into account Ai Weiwei's antique jugs branded with silver autobody paint, and perhaps too Ai Weiwei's gratuitous destruction of ancient ceramics for art's sake. What about the gaudiness, the garishness of the work? I think we should embrace it. Remember the horror that unfurled across the art world in the 1980s as the Sistine Chapel was being cleansed of 500 years of soot and beeswax. Its art is garish. Ditto for the Parthenon. The West long took Phidias's white marbles as harbingers of, and perhaps contributing causes of modernism, only to discover over the last century that in the beginning they were heavily painted and, well, cheesy as all get out. The dean of the College of the Art at my university tells me that the answers I'm seeking are to be found in this book, Air Guitar, by the art theorist David Hickey, who celebrates and explains the aesthetics of the Las Vegas Strip, an aesthetic that at once joys and disturbs. Kuptana's early death is multiply sad. There were worlds in him yet to reveal themselves. Take this ink doodle from 2019. Who knew? It's Cape Dorset, but with substance. And 2 days before he died, he painted this. At first, I didn't believe it was by him, and then his current gallerist sent me these pictures of the man himself signing and posing with it. Mr. Floyd,